All right, everybody. 10 Tampa Bay Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins here. Thursday evening tropical update, and let's just get it right out of the way right now. No development is expected the next 7 days. That might change at days 8, 9, and 10, but for the next week, we don't have anything that we have to worry about. And even then, 8, 9, and 10, a lot can happen between now and then. So I just wanted to go over tonight and kind of talk a little bit about what you're hearing, what you're seeing out there, and give you a little bit of an explanation of how model runs days 8, 9, and 10 are so far out in time. It gives you kind of an idea of what you're looking for, but specifics it's just not there. Okay, so let's go piece by piece. First, this is from the Hurricane Center, and they're saying no development expected the next 7 days. Great news there. All right, let's start with the ensemble of the GFS. So this is the GFS model run a whole bunch of different times, about 30 times, little tweaks in the physics each run, and so you kind of get an idea what the model's thinking, right? The GFS is the one that people have been sharing online, showing some hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico by about the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd of November, all right? This is November 1st. And what you see here, there's not going to be this many lows. You see a low here, a low here, a low here, a low here, one here, one here. There's not going to be that many lows, right? This is the different models seeing different lows, or the different runs of the GFS model. So when you look at this, you get an idea. It says, okay, on average, it thinks there'll be something in here. Okay, this is Florida right here, Tampa sitting right in here. All right, that's what it's thinking. And this is November 4th. And then you go out, you notice, look at this, South Florida, the 5th, the 6th, another South Florida by the 8th. I mean, now we're talking way out in time. All right, so yes, does the model think that there will be some lower pressures, possibly a system in the Eastern Gulf near Florida? Yes, it does. And that's what all the hype has been about lately. Now, let me show you the European version of this model. Say the European model, right? But also the ensembles. So here we go. A week from today is Halloween. This is a week from today. All right, and it is trying to lower the pressures here in the Western Caribbean. All right, this is Jamaica right here. In fact, I had somebody on my Facebook ask me about they were taking a cruise down in that area. The first week of November, you need to watch it. Haiti, Dominican Republic, but especially Cuba and Jamaica, and then you got the Caymans right in there. You do need to watch that the first week. All right, so this is the 31st. Let's go out to the 2nd and the 3rd of November. Now remember, the GFS had something all kind of up in here. The European is out in here, right? That's on the 3rd. Let's go out a little bit later. And so it too is seeing something right in this area, okay? That's the European. This is November 5th. And then you see it kind of coming across the Florida straits. Most of it stays to the south of us. All right, this is just a forecast run way out in time. Now, here's another look at it. This is the European. I think it is, yeah. And the European, really, the ensembles just doesn't do too much with it, right? It has something there south of Jamaica, but then it tends to fall apart. It's a much weaker solution. This is a look at the GFS. And each one of these lines is one of those model runs, and you really don't see much coming up in here in Florida, especially not in the Tampa area. But you do see an overall trend, and do something like this, and then maybe something like that. All right? This is going to change. And you can't get panicked about something happening in 10 days when you're looking at something like this. This model tends to build things up in days 9, 10, or 11 in the tropics. It's what it does, right? It's a joke, really, but there's some truth to it, right? There's some what that means is like, you know what? Okay, the GFS is showing it's showing something out here. This is November 4th. We should probably keep an eye on this area near Cuba, south of Cuba, right? That's what that means, right? Then you start looking at the individual runs, and this is what's been going around on the internet, and this is what is not right to do. Because I just showed you the ensemble runs of the GFS, and it had lows all over the place. This one, in fact, the latest run's coming in now, it's got it northeast of Cuba now, or in towards the southern Bahamas. All right, the run before this, it had it further to the west, came across Cuba, and then back up into Florida. That's what you're seeing on the internet, right? The latest run hasn't come out that far yet. it's got it further to the east. Does it continue to go further to the east? Does it come back around? We just don't know, right? And again, this is the 4th of November. That's what, 11 days from now. That's just so far out in time. Here's the European single run of the European forecast model. It's got, I mean, something very weak, and it's been doing something broad area of low pressure, which we generally see in this area anyways, a little bit further to the south. But bottom line, it doesn't have much. And then let me show you this. This is the European forecast model, but this one uses AI. And it's been doing much better, really, than anything else this season. It's been doing really well. And here it is. So this goes out through Halloween right there. Okay, we're starting to watch the Western Caribbean. And now let's get out to November 4th. Look at that. It's just not, what do you see? We don't see anything here. We do see maybe some lower pressures, but we don't see, this big pressure thing here, right? We don't have that on this. And in fact, let's go all the way out through the 7th and the 8th. What it does is it takes a piece out to the northeast, and then it takes what's left over out to the west. And typically with a weaker system, because there's going to be some shear in here, that's what you would expect to see. So watch this. See all this? Watch what's northeast of Cuba. Watch it move out to the north and the east. See that? Meanwhile, what's left down here, it just moves off towards the west. So there are 3 different models I showed you, different ensembles. All of them showing something different, but the majority not showing something major. Here's the European forecast model for the ensembles, and it says, what are the likelihood that there's tropical depression forming down in the Caribbean? And there it is. This is through the 3rd of November. What are the likelihood there'll be a tropical storm? What are the likelihood there'll be a hurricane? It just goes away. All right? These will change. All of this is going to change. That's what it does with the forecast models. But what you need to know right now is that we've got fantastic weather Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and lower humidity. Next week, the breezes pick up as those pressures lower down there, and we start to get a little bit more humidity, especially by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And we've got plenty of time to watch it. So right now, I'm not concerned. I don't like seeing it, just like you don't like seeing the forecast model showing something like that. But I know, with my experience, that these things don't always happen. In fact, a lot of times they don't happen. So let's just keep watching it. And that's exactly what we'll do at this particular time. All right, guys. Hope you have a great one. Don't forget to tune back in.